10,500. This figure represents the number of athletes from 204 countries that will compete in the London 2012 Olympic Games. A symbol of global unity, national pride, and athletic excellence, the Olympics have been enjoyed by billions of people across the world for centuries. As a fan of the Summer Olympics in particular, and having visited London for a month in 2010, I am very interested by the changes the city has undergone to prepare for the Summer Games. With the opening ceremony just a week away, I hope we can all enjoy London 2012 and cheer our athletes on from home. I can usually appreciate things more when I know a bit of the history and preparations that have gone into making them happen, so I hope these topics help you all get more out of your Olympic experience. So much has gone into preparing for London 2012, but I will give you all some background of the Olympic torch and its road to London, the various venues that will house the competitions and the athletes, and two of Team USA's standout competitors. Last night, the Olympic torch arrived in London when a Royal Marine, Martin Williams, rappelled from a military helicopter with torch in hand into the Tower of London, according to Danica Kirka of the Associated Press. Its arrival in the host city marks the culmination of a journey that began in the city of ancient Olympia in Greece on May 10th. According to Claire Heald of BBC News Europe, actors portraying Greek priestesses at the birthplace of the Olympics used a parabolic mirror and rays of the sun to ignite the flame. A Greek athlete received the flame, which was then passed on to the first British torchbearer, Alex Lukos. Eventually, the torch made its way to the UK aboard a British Airways aircraft nicknamed the Firefly for this occasion. The torch relay began in the far southeast corner of England and will cover a total of 8,000 miles through England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. The torch will be used to light the cauldron at the opening ceremony next week and will stay lit until the final day of the Games. Now that I've talked a little bit about how the torch made its way to London, I'm going to tell you all about the venues that will be used to accommodate the athletes and the competitions. An amount of almost 6.8 billion British pounds has funded the building of the various venues that will be part of the Olympics, from Olympic Village and Parklands to Olympic Park and broadcasting centers, according to the Olympic Delivery Authority annual report and accounts. Construction began on Olympic Village in May 2008 to provide accommodations for 16,000 athletes and officials. Covering 67 blocks, living quarters are joined by restaurants, shops, and medical facilities, according to the ODA London 2012 fact file. Efforts to promote sustainability have been a major emphasis during the construction of all these facilities. To this end, Olympic Village will provide almost 3,000 new homes once the Games have finished. Similarly, as stated by the ODA London 2012 fact file, the copper box used for handball and fencing is the first sporting event venue in the UK to be lit naturally, which helps it to achieve an annual energy savings of up to 40%. To accommodate the 36 different sporting events, athletes will compete in venues throughout London as well as the rest of the UK. Now that we know about where the athletes will live and compete, I'll tell y'all a little bit about a couple of our US athletes themselves. A number of US athletes are predicted to be standouts in London. Swimmer Michael Phelps, as we all know, has won a total of 16 Olympic medals, 14 of which were gold, which led him to hold the record for the most golds won in a single Games. Phelps is sure to continue his winning streak this summer, competing in 4 individual events and 3 relays. A race to watch would be the 200-meter individual medley between Phelps and his teammate Ryan Lochte. On the other side of the River Thames at North Greenwich Arena, a new standout this year will be Gabby Douglas, a 16-year-old gymnast from Des Moines, Iowa. According to NBCOlympics.com, Douglas came in first in the 2012 Women's Olympic Trials, automatically giving her a spot on the Olympic team. Gabby will be a strong asset to the U.S. women's gymnastics team, which is considered the front-runner for the team gold in London, according to NBCNews.com. Team USA is comprised of both veteran athletes like Phelps and new stars like Douglas, both of which will give fans a lot to cheer for. Hopefully y'all heard something new about the Olympic torch relay, the housing and sports venues around London, or two of Team USA's standout athletes that will encourage you to get caught up in the Olympic spirit. Next week, we'll be able to see all the hard work of the athletes in the host city showcased. The City of London's Olympic preparations will serve as a great backdrop for athletes as they compete in sports they've prepared and trained for years. So set your DVRs now and be among the 4 billion people expected to be watching London 2012.